Welcome to week 3 of my deadline. I've been watching my previous videos that I've posted and I'm like, I never really do any intros in my videos. I just kind of go in media res on them. I need to get better. I need to get better at doing YouTube videos, period. I know that. I make a lot of mistakes. I have a lot of noisy backgrounds going on that I don't consider. Last time my tea kettle was blaring like a jet engine and I stupidly had my AC on when I was talking in my car. And I'll just be honest with you, my last vlog video that I uploaded was a nightmare because I got copyrighted music in it, and let me just tell you, I can't believe I finally even posted that dang video. Anyway, week 3, let's put the week 2 deadline vlog behind us. It was a mess. It's done. I am now doing an intro. My name is May Dugas. This is my writing channel called May's Writing Haven. So it's Monday morning and I'm already a little annoyed at myself for not getting up at 4 a.m. I'm trying my best to get on a schedule after not being on one for a solid year. Because for the past year, I have just been hyper focused on finding a job after I graduated with my master's degrees. And you don't really have to get up early to make resumes and cover letters, so today I did not get up until 8 o'clock. And hello, this is Little Pooh. You will see him a lot. He doesn't come in my bedroom much, but when I'm out here making tea or coffee, the cats are always out here. I've had him for 20 some years. He's very, very old. He's lost a lot of weight, but he's still healthy and somehow having no health issues. He's just old and tiny, and aren't you? Well, I just woke up. I'm already in my ugly ass sweater that you'll always see me in. I'm a bit of a recluse. I just stay in the air conditioning and work basically until it's time for bed. Summertime is like my seasonal depression. I don't understand people who have seasonal depression in the winter. It's like put on a coat and go outside and I'm fine. In the summer, it feels like I go outside and I can't even breathe or be out there for more than 5 minutes without feeling like I need another shower. And it starts making me nauseous and headachy. And I seriously feel like I cannot go outside the entire summer. I hate it so much, and I don't even live somewhere like Arizona or desert type weather. I live in Ohio, so in the summers here, it's like usually high 80s, low 90s. It does get so nasty and humid. This is the creamer I absolutely adore. There's no sugar in it. I don't like putting sugar in my coffee. And somehow this still tastes like it has sugar in it. You don't miss it at all. And it's got a very light marshmallow flavor to it, to where it doesn't really taste like it's flavored, but it somehow just adds a sweetness to your coffee without the added sugar. So I only drink flavored coffee, so I'm not about having a super intense flavor in my creamer.
I'm trying to get on a schedule of hitting my bed at 6, so I have 2 hours of reading time and falling asleep around 8 and getting up at 4. And I like to write for about 4 hours straight first thing in the morning. That is what I like to do. I like to get up, make my coffee, and start writing immediately. And I find that when I get up later, that I don't tend to get as much writing done. I don't know what it is, but I just get less done. In the time between me sitting at my desk with my coffee at 5 a.m. and I can just write that whole time, 4 hours until breakfast, I get so much done. But when I get up later, I get hungrier quicker. So I usually write 2 hours and then I'm already ready for breakfast. This week is getting on a schedule as much as it is doing my writing and finishing my novel. So that's going to be the challenge this week, along with other struggles that might come up, is just I really need to get on a schedule.
Even though I've only written 2 hours this morning because I didn't get up until 6, I'm still writing as I'm walking, figuring out all the kinks in my novel that I can't figure out while I'm staring at my screen. It's happening here. This is just as important as typing the words. So if you're a writer who feels stuck at their desk because once they get up, they know they're not going to be writing anymore for today, get outside. Preferably by yourself, because other people will interfere with your flow. Get outside by yourself in nature and continue writing. Look at my freaking hat, it's ridiculous. It feels amazing out here. It's 70 degrees. Loving it. I am on chapter 9. I worked on chapter 8 Monday and Tuesday. Today is Wednesday of week 3. And I started chapter 9 this morning. If you watched my last vlog, you know that I haven't progressed past the chapter 8 mark in many years, because it used to be my 50-page mark. I was stuck in a loop of revising my first 50 pages for a long time. Perfectionist in me. Chapter 8 used to be where my 50 pages ended. I think it's considerably longer now that I've been revising. I had to get past the urge to go back to chapter 1 because, yes, I hit the chapter 8 mark again, and there are things that I could go back and add that would make things clearer, character-wise, plot-wise, that I need to at least go back and read the chapters and just make tiny adjustments to. The perfectionist in me wants to go back and do that, and I successfully fought that urge. I need to just keep going forward because I'm going to do more revisions anyway. This revisioning my novel, I'm hoping that is completed by October, and that from October to December I will be revising it for the last time before I start querying. So I have 2 points that I have a goal in mind of finishing my novel. My first finishing is October, and my second one is the end of December. So this is the last day of July. It is week 3 of my deadline, even though it's supposed to be week 4. And I did mention this in my last vlog. There was a whole week in there where there was just a lot of doctor's appointments between me and my ex-boyfriend that we had to go to all week that I really didn't get anything done that week. So even though this is 4 weeks since I have made my deadline. It's my 3rd week of working on my deadline. And I didn't get up as early as I wanted to, and I did post a new video about toxic writing schedules and thinking about if we as creatives choose our own writing schedules or do they choose us. Because I do have an issue of needing to write within a certain time frame, which is 4 a.m. to 8 or 9 a.m. And if I'm not doing the bulk of my writing in that time frame, it doesn't get done. And I can't, even if I try to, the quality of work isn't there. My creative flow isn't there. It's just not there, and there's nothing I can do about that. So I did post a video about that. I'm struggling with worries that I'm not going to be able to adhere to my own writing schedule that I've set to be successful in this deadline. A huge part of that is not being able to consistently get up at 4 a.m. Last week I had a really good week of getting up at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. This week, not so much. So I ended my vlog last week on Thursday saying that I was halfway through chapter 8. And just to give you an idea about how slow I am at revising, and also what a toll it has taken on me this week that I haven't gotten up as early as I need to. I just finished revising chapter 8 yesterday. So, yeah. Not getting up when I need to has taken a toll. Something I've noticed since giving myself a deadline to finish my novel by December of this year, 2025, and that is the toxicity of writing schedules. Something I've always known about myself, though, even though I haven't had a rigorous writing schedule, is that I am a morning writer. I've always known that. So if I can't write in the morning, it doesn't happen, even if I try. Even if I try to write in the evening, it's never productive. It'll always be like maybe one line of dialogue I'll get out of it, or I have no stamina in the evening for things like writing. I also paint. I have my own paintings all over my walls here in my bedroom and throughout my house. And yeah, with painting, I'm exclusively an evening painter. I cannot paint at any other time. I paint in the deep hours of the night. With writing, it's completely opposite. Am I the only person this way? Do we choose when we can have creative flow? Do we have control over that truly? I thought that I was going to be revising 1 chapter a day. So if I'm revising Monday through Friday, doing 1 chapter a day 5 days a week, that was setting me up to finish my novel by October and to be able to spend October through December on the last round of revisions. Because of course I'm doing heavy editing and heavy revisions right now, which is a lot of rewriting, a lot of revisioning everything in my book. And that is also going to need its own edits and revisions before I can say it's ready to be queried. I'm at the pace right now where I am completing revisions on 1 single chapter every 3 days. That has been my pace so far. I can get up at 4 a.m. and write for 4 solid hours and not be hungry. I can just keep writing and drinking coffee and just sitting there. But if I get up at 7, I can write for an hour and I am hungry already. I'm already getting interference in my head. And I just feel like there is a sweet spot for all of us for creative flow. And we might not have control over that. If I did have control over that, I would be writing at 1 p.m. because I would just get up whenever I wanted to. I would play video games, get my yoga done, and then I would head over to my desk. I know that if I could just get out of bed every day, Monday through Friday at 4 a.m., that's all I need to do to get this done. Last week, I did have a week where I was getting up consistently. I was even getting up at 3 a.m. and getting to my desk at 4 a.m. There was a solid week where that was actually happening for me. And I was feeling like, oh, this is going to work. This is actually going to happen. Even though the week before that, it was shit. I thought that I was finally settling in to my schedule because the second week was just so great. Everything worked out. And I was just feeling how good that writing time was for me. I even had a day where I wrote for 5 hours straight, and I was completely done writing by 10 a.m. It is now Wednesday of week 3 of my deadline, and I haven't gotten up at 4 a.m. at all this week. This just has me spinning about writing schedules, feeling the toxicity of not being able to keep up with them. This week, I've been waking up at 6 and I have been getting at my writing desk with my coffee around 6:45. And my writing has been very staggered. So because I can't write for very long periods of time past 8 o'clock, I'll stop writing around 8 something and then I'll eat. And then I'll try to write again, and then I'll do yoga and take a shower, and then I'll try to write again, and then I'll eat lunch, and it's just ripping me out of my flow to keep starting and stopping like that. I am the most disciplined person when it comes to writing. I'm very disciplined. I mean, I'm a freaking Capricorn rising, for heaven's sake. My life revolves around being disciplined and getting work done. If you're into astrology like I am, you also know that Uranus has switched over into Gemini. And I'm experiencing that Uranus transit in my 6th house of daily schedules, of all things. Isn't that funny? I feel like I should be able to get up no matter where Uranus is in my chart. Maybe you can talk to me down below about your writing schedules. If you feel like you're in control of those, or if they're in control of you, can you just do creative endeavors whenever you feel like it and it's the same? Can you just write whenever you have free time to write? Or are you like me and you have a certain time frame that you can write, and if you deviate from that, it's not going to work? Am I the only one like this? Like, it literally does not work for me if I deviate from that time period. This is a huge struggle for me. I haven't yet figured out what I'm going to do. This is my first time filming this week. I think I'm in the 4th week. Today is Wednesday. It is August 5th, I believe. My gosh, I don't even know what date it is. I do know that it's Wednesday, at least I know that. And today has been a great day. Monday and Tuesday of this week were horrible, and I'm still struggling with a schedule. Yesterday, I fell asleep around 7, which made me able to get up at 2. So I woke up at 2 completely refreshed, wasn't even tired. And I started writing at about 2:30 a.m. I am functional as a writer during the hours where everyone around me, in my neighborhood, in my house, just in general, everyone else is sleeping. And I I am just up with the crickets and I am writing. And it's dark. It's just me and my coffee and my writing. That's when I can write for 4 or 5 hours straight. That's when shit gets figured out. That's when everything gets laid down perfectly, how I want it. And it feels easy. Yeah, I got up at 2 and it has been awesome. I wrote for 5 hours. Just drink coffee and write for 5 hours straight. That's what happens to me when I write in the middle of the night. I used to say I was a morning writer, which I am, but I'm starting to think I wouldn't call myself an evening writer because I feel like evening is when people are still awake. It's like that active buzz of like 6 to midnight, you know. People are winding down. That is the worst time for me to write. That is the time when I can't write at all, like nothing happens. But what I am is a dead night writer. Not an evening writer, I am a night. I'm a night writer. Wasn't that an old show from like the 80s or something? I don't even know. I'm a night writer. I'm also a morning writer because I like to, like this morning I wrote and it was about 7:30 by the time I was done writing. And then I got to go take a walk because it was still pretty cool and crisp outside. And just like, wow, the perfection of that. Getting up early, writing for 5 hours, and you love every single thing you're writing. You figure out a huge problem. You eat breakfast, and then you're able to go walk because it's still early enough to where it's not gross outside. I think it's about 11:30 a.m. and I've already had my most perfect day. I wish every day was like this. I thought about doing my update yesterday. Sometimes I hesitate doing updates like this when I'm in a foul mood and I feel like everything's horrible. I probably shouldn't feel that way. I need to share my struggles just as much as my accomplishments. Otherwise, what's the point of a vlog? What's the point of sharing this writing journey with you? Because writing is a struggle just as much as it is a joy. So I should be sharing both elements, and I feel like I do to some degree, but when it's really bad, it was really bad Monday and especially yesterday. There was a problem in my novel I was having. I couldn't get past chapter 9. I was stuck. I've been stuck in chapter 9 for many days now, and it just wasn't going anywhere. And I kept telling myself, well, keep going, just push forward without figuring this out. But then I'm like, well, I don't know how to push forward because this is a very pivotal moment in my novel that it's like the rest of the chapters after that hinge on. Chapter 8 and chapter 9 are huge chapters. Chapter 9, you get to visit this event that she can't remember that is so important, so integral to her and what's going on with her life. The reader gets to go back in time and now experience that event that she has been talking about, that I've created a lot of mystery around. I've created a lot of stakes surrounding that. Important things are revealed in this chapter. And because it was an old chapter and chapters 1 through 8 have been revised so many times through, chapter 9 was almost like going back in time to when my novel meant something different. It was a mess. I'm like, none of this is relevant anymore. What am I going to do? But it also wasn't a complete rewrite because some of the things still had to be there. I had to work around them. It was a really hard chapter. I didn't know how I was going to get through it. I wasn't waking up early. I haven't been waking up early at all. Like I've explained in the first part of this vlog, and like I explained in my writing schedules video, week 2 was a good week as far as me being able to get up. But week 1 wasn't great. week 3 was horrible, and so far week 4 had been horrible. I've been getting up at like 7 and starting to write at 8 o'clock and only writing for an hour because that's what happens, and getting all this interference in my head of writing outside of my creative time frame. And me staring at this chapter 9, if the first time that I'm able to get up, and I get up earlier than I usually ever do, 2 a.m., which was even better than getting up at 3, was even better at getting up at 4. I'm starting to think, like, I just need to be falling asleep earlier and earlier so I can get up in the middle of the night, because I got the whole entire chapter done this morning. The whole thing. Whereas, like, the last, I don't know, 5 days or something, I've been working on chapter 9 and I haven't gotten anywhere. I got the whole thing done today. Yesterday, even though I only wrote for an hour or so, I did open up chapter 9. I got the first couple paragraphs of chapter 9 exactly the way I wanted them. I'll say that I did get that done, but that's how slow stuff goes. And those 2 paragraphs might have even been the culmination of Monday and Tuesday together. They might have been that. But yeah, I got up today and I got a lot of work done, and it was good work. And I'm feeling hopeful. I want to say that I'm going to keep up with this schedule. I really hope so. I'm going to try my best. I usually don't go to bed that early. The only reason I went to bed that early last night was because it was just such a horrible day. I was feeling so down, and what happens when I get really down and out in my head is I just want to go to bed. I want to lay in my bed and read and fall asleep, because then you can just wake up and start over. You flush. I would just want to flush that day by going to bed. And so, yeah, I figured out getting up even earlier is better for me, for my writing. I don't know, I'll figure it out, but I really enjoyed getting up at 2 a.m. today. I really enjoyed being able to write for 5 hours straight. And here's hoping the rest of the week pans out that way. And I'm excited about starting chapter 10 tomorrow.